Hello and welcome to Glasgow, where today I'm going to be taking a trip from here at Glasgow Queen Street over to Inverness with ScotRail in first class. And as usual, I'm going to be assessing the comfort level, amenities, complimentary food and drink, general ambience, and most importantly, judging the value of the service over travelling in standard class. Let's go. As its name implies, ScotRail travel all over Scotland, mostly doing regional routes, although they do serve all 7 cities, and as such they have named their HST train sets the Inter-7 City, rather than the Intercity, which is what it used to be called back when it was serving pretty much the whole country. And that's one of the types of trains that they do first class on, but my train leaves in about half an hour, so I'm going to get in the station and get on board. So, this looks like a revamped station actually, isn't it? It looks really nice on the outside. And it's old school on the inside. Look at this old train shed. Big and airy. So that's my train, second to the left there, to the 10:07 to Inverness. And as usual for one of these terminal stations, they just make you wait outside until they decide to board you. Which I'm fine with. It looks like it's going to be that HST over there on platform 5. So before we get on board, let's just have a look at what we can expect. According to their website, there's a quieter environment with just 72 seats. Also large leather reclining seats, which sounds awesome. But here's the kicker. Hospitality on selected services, subject to availability. Now this is the thing with ScotRail. Yes, they will run these trains on many different routes at many different times a day, but they only serve complimentary refreshments on certain services. They do list which ones they are on their website, but then it does say that they reserve the right to change that whenever they want. So hopefully we are going to get onto a train that has one today. These high-speed intercity trains are well over 40 years old, having been built between 1975 and 1982, which makes them even older than me. ScotRail acquired these from other train operating companies when they replaced them with more modern rolling stock, so I'm interested to see how they're holding up after such a long life in service. First impressions, it looks really posh, doesn't it? Look at this. It's kind of like an executive office. I literally feel like the CEO of a big multinational company in this seat. So the seat does recline. Also you have here some power sockets and USB. So the single seats have 1 plug and 2 USB. So they get a lot more per person. Also got a curtain, so in case the view isn't beautiful enough for you, you can block it out. One thing I will say, I don't know if this has an issue or if this is how it is, but this one is lower than this one. This one is kind of up in the air. Okay, I see. I think mine's is broken because that one moves. But this one doesn't seem to move, it's locked in place. You know what? I'm going to sit on the other side. That's a bit better. It doesn't go down. Yeah, they're still at the same level. Oh well.
The next stop is Stirling.
As we depart Glasgow, let's have a fly through of the route we'll be taking up to Inverness. Starting at 10:07 at Glasgow's Queen Street station, which is one of 2 major stations in the city, this limited stop service first heads northeast up towards Stirling and then on to Perth. There's another couple of stops at Dunkeld and Burnham and Pitlochry before we head into the picturesque Cairngorm Mountains following the banks of the River Garry. We'll eventually end up in Kingussie and Aviemore. Finally, we'll head on to Inverness, arriving at 13:25 after a total travel time of 3 hours and 18 minutes. Tea has arrived. This is Brodie's Tea. I've never heard of that brand. Is it Scottish? First time I've seen it. They also got given vanilla and walnut shortbread, and they said that if I want any more or some water, there's a table over there where I can just pick some up at my leisure. So that's cool. Cheers. Oh, that's scorching hot. Ooh, very short, it's crumbled. I wasn't sure about it at first, but yeah, actually, it's pretty good. Now that we're on the move, I thought to give you an updated opinion on the seat. The seat itself is fine. No complaints about the seat. However, I don't think this seat, I'm in basically the first row, was pretty much right by the toilet, and once we set off, I could smell that thing. Also, I can hear the train creaking, and it's not a very quiet environment. Also, the ride isn't very comfy. These old trains, they bounce around a lot. It's like, woo. That's just me simulating it because I'm not going very fast at the moment. But when you are at speed, you're literally jumping up and down. But I suppose that's just these old carriages, isn't it? Okay, let's go check out this old smelly toilet then. So here's the loo. Pretty small. The toilet and a sink with the thing that works, and then there is soap in there. Looks like it's been freshly cleaned, but like I said, when we pulled off, I did smell it. Also got hand towels rather than a blower to dry your hands with. So there you go, there's the loo.
This is Stirling. This train is for Inverness.
So we've just arrived on the first stop of Stirling, but I've got a question. Has this city got anything to do with the pound sterling? Are they related in any way? Also, does it have anything to do with the phrase sterling work for meaning good work? These are the random thoughts that go through my brain on long train journeys. We just arrived in Perth, the one in Scotland, not the one in Australia, although Australia is named after this one, although I think Australia is probably more well known generally around the world. That's pretty much all I know about Perth. I should probably Google things before I start talking to you. I'm not even sure if the Australian one is named after here. It probably is though.
Yeah, anything to drink? Tea?
We're about an hour and 15 minutes into the journey and I've just been offered another cup of tea, which is lovely. Of course I said yes because I'm British and tea is life. I was given some more shortbread. This is a different type. This is buttery and crumbly, so this is like the standard no flavour, well not flavour, is it? Not flavoured, normal everyday shortbread. Cheers. Ooh, again, ooh, really. This is the standard shortbread. I think I prefer this over the vanilla and walnut. Oh, coos. Oh, that was normal coos. I want some kind of booze. You know what? I'm gonna have to go and find other types of shortbread. I'm gonna do a complete taste test of all of them. Okay, so moving way over to the table. There was only one other type of shortbread, which is white chocolate and raspberry. There we go. Wow, that raspberry flavour is intense. Just offer these cans of water. Radler Spring. Oh, that's interesting. It's not even Scottish, it's Welsh. Well, candidate sauce in Powys. Welsh water is good water. So let's test this Wi-Fi, see if it's actually any good. Yeah. I can't even see it. Let's turn the Wi-Fi on and off again. See if that helps. Nope. The Wi-Fi is non-existent. That flower bed was so cute. Those whiskey barrels that have turned into flower beds. So we've not long left Pitlochry on our way to Kingoosey, and I believe this is where the best of the scenery starts. We are now passing through the Cairngorms National Park. So there'll be a lot of tall mountains and some awesome scenery. I'm filming this at the end of May, so we're not really going to see any snow-capped mountains, but I do feel like it's going to be nice regardless. I mean, it's just trees right now, but behind the trees the scenery's nice. Still no Highland cows so far. Plenty of regular cows, plenty of sheep. Earlier in the trip I did see one hare. At least I'm assuming it was hare, not a rabbit. No Highland cows. So according to my altimeter, we are over 1,000 feet up at the moment and climbing. I don't actually know how high this line gets. Didn't realise when I came down this line before that it gets this high. Makes sense though, we're kind of up in the mountains. Oh, that's a cool little river which I just missed. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, why don't you subscribe? Because next week I'll be travelling with Avanti West Coast, which is one video that you guys have been waiting for. For now though, let's take in this breathtaking Scottish Highland scenery. These really are first class views. It doesn't matter what class of travel you're in. Come and ride this line. It's beautiful. Oh, the cute little alley. I'm running away from the noisy train. This has changed from less of a first class review and more into a view hunt, animal hunt, whatever. I don't care. This is a nice, beautiful town. I've been here before. Link.
This is Aviemore.
Is it there? I can't ever remember. This is also the home of the Strathspey Railway, which is a heritage steam line. And oh, there's another one of these flower beds. I was hoping to see it, but to check the timetable when it left here 9 minutes ago, so we've just missed it. So that's a shame. And also got some old engines here that they don't use anymore. As we're nearing the end of our journey, coming into Inverness, let's summarise. I actually think this seat is really good. It's really comfortable, and yes, I've had this entire 4-berth area all to myself for the entire journey, but if I had to share it, that would not be an issue at all. These seats are really wide and really comfortable, and you go so far to say as probably one of the comfiest first class seats that I've travelled on so far in this series. The service was what you would expect. The complimentary food and drinks was minimal. She only came around with the trolley twice, once on leaving Glasgow, the other one on leaving Perth. So if you're getting on a stop after Perth, you're not going to get your free tea and coffee. You will get your free can of water and shortbread, because they're available at the end of the carriage, but there's no hot drinks. But of course we need to find out whether it's worth it. Is it value for money? Well, let's have a look at prices. So an anytime single in standard class is £55.20. An anytime single in first class is £85.40. So you're paying an extra 30 odd quid in order to sit in first class. However, here is something I found interesting. I cannot find advanced tickets in standard class on this journey. Hold on a second, past Jess wasn't looking hard enough. I have subsequently found advanced tickets for £20.90, so I'm just going to add that right there.
But I can find advanced tickets in first class, and the cheapest I managed to find on a very quick search is £53.20, which is actually less than a standard class anytime ticket. This is a weird anomaly that you get on some routes, and it's definitely worth checking out. So just because you're making a journey and you think, oh, I can't afford first class, just look at it, because sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes it is cheaper. I have actually found it on the main line. It's like years ago when I was working in TV, I booked one of my runners a journey from London to Manchester in first class because it was cheaper. It's always worth checking out, because sometimes you find those little jackpot moments. Oh, we're going over a big bridge.
So what do I think of ScotRail's first class overall? Well, the seat itself is great, although they are showing their age when the armrests are getting stuck into position. The service offering is literally the bare minimum. You might argue that since ScotRail only operate trains lasting a few hours at a time, it's not necessary to provide anything more. But I would counter that by saying that there are plenty of other operators in England running trains on similar durations, and they provide more things like sandwiches and more substantial snacks, so maybe that could do with some improvement. For their score out of 10, I'm going to give them a 6, which draws them level with whole trains and cross country, and that's mostly because their seat is far superior than theirs. An inferior seat would have dragged them down to like a 5, but if they did improve their complimentary refreshments, they could be looking at a 7 or 8 instead.
And we've arrived in Inverness. Goodbye first class. Oh look. Why not? Just take the last shortbread. It's not as if I've not had enough. So just for contrast, this is what standard class looks like. It doesn't look bad for standard, does it? No. Anyway, welcome to Inverness. Thank you, ScotRail. That was quite an enjoyable journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have you travelled first class with ScotRail before? Would you do it? I would definitely do it again. It was nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.